We're bringing in Emran Ahmed, the founder and CEO of the organization that released the report, the Center for Countering Digital Hate. Welcome. Thank you so much for making the time tonight.
It's my pleasure.
Let's start with what surprised you and what alarmed you the most in the findings of this report.
Well, look, we all know that social media can be a really toxic place to be. There are platforms like X that have become really famous for that. But we wanted to check one of the platforms that people use and don't realize that there's actually a huge amount of toxic content there, and see how Meta is doing. Now, Meta doesn't get a lot of criticism these days. A lot of that is focused on TikTok for what it does to young people, X because of the actions of Elon Musk. But we wanted to look at whether or not Mark Zuckerberg's platforms are doing any better. And by reporting comments to them, so we actually had our researchers go and find these toxic comments, verify that they broke the rules, then report them to the platform. This kind of gets aside from all the, we use AI to detect these things before they go on someone's feed. We wanted to see, do they have the will to act when we hand them the content on a silver platter? And what we found was 93% of the time, they failed to do anything.
And Instagram saying that its policy is to remove hate speech, credible threats, and content that targets private individuals to degrade or shame them. So what would you say to someone who argues that a public figure should expect a higher amount of criticism from the public compared to a private individual?
Look, when it comes to women running for office, we know that this is actually a relatively new phenomenon in our nation's history, is having women running for office, and it has enriched our politics considerably. But just think about the young people who are following those politicians, who are seeing what happens on their feed, seeing the wall of abuse that's received, and thinking, well, crumbs, I'm not quite sure if I want to expose myself to that, just for running for public office, serving my community, serving my country. So I think it's a little bit rich for them to say it's only those people that would see it. But just explain to me, what is the moral justification for allowing someone to threaten to rape a female politician like Marjorie Taylor Greene, Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez, or the Vice President Kamala Harris? What is the utility? What is the enrichment to our society that comes with people showering black women politicians with the N-word? And I really can't see why Instagram think it's fine to do that to anyone.
I really appreciate you pointing out that context. What have you and your organization observed since Kamala Harris has confirmed her candidacy?
Well, she was already recipient of a large amount of abuse. I have to be honest, the most abuse that any woman politician received, and the most gendered abuse about her gender, was actually Marjorie Taylor Greene. But Kamala Harris has received a lot of abuse. Now, our field work was done before she even announced, or before it became clear that the President Joe Biden was stepping down and that she would be the candidate. So I would imagine that there's been an even greater increase on her account. At the time of our study, which was gathered from January to July of this year, that we actually found that she had tens of thousands of threatening comments, many of which were gendered or racist.
It's such an important topic. Emran Ahmed, I really appreciate your time tonight. Thank you so much. Thanks for watching. Go to joinnn.com to find NewsNation on your screen. And don't forget to click the red subscribe button below to get more of NewsNation's fact-driven, unbiased coverage.